Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Gaming News. What's on the appetizer today? Summer Game Fest. That's right, Summer Game Fest 2022 with Geoff Keighley and his ugly jacket. There was quite a bit announced. Some may be surprised to you. Some may be, hell, we all knew that. So we're just going to jump in, run through the list first, and then we'll talk to these two knuckleheads and get their take of what they think. All right, so we're just going to start in no particular order. We got Street Fighter 6, Aliens, Dark Descent. We have Callisto Protocol, which we all have seen before, Flashback 2, Witchfire, Fort Solis, Routine, Outriders World Slayer was shown off. We got Stormgate, Highwater, America Arcadia, Nick's favorite, Goat Simulator 3. He's mad he missed 2. There's a joke in there. Look it up. Marvel Midnight Suns, Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, Neon White, Midnight Fight Express, some new stuff for Warframe. I'm going to butcher the name, but Honkai Star Rail, Zoneless Zone Zero, Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, I think we're all excited for. Super People, Humankind, a new One Piece game. It's a JRPG. Soul Hackers 2, Capcom Arcade Second Stadium, Metal Hellsinger, The Quarry, Nightingale, Boss Factory, Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide, Layers of Fear, Gotham Knights, The Last of Us Part 1, the remake of the remake, and The Last of Us multiplayer game. Wow, that just tired me out. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to bounce over to Pat. And Pat, what did you think of the show as an overall? Because today we're going to talk about the show overall, and then we're going to do another episode where we get a little more in depth. So what is your thoughts about the show?
I expected more. I expected a lot more, actually, than what I got.
Boy, my damn mouth hurts.
Well, don't forget to throw in some Modern Warfare 2 came showing some of that too. You know, that was kind of cool.
That is true. I did miss that one.
But, you know, the show was okay. It was better than some of the shows we've seen in previous where there was way too much talking involved in what was going on. I am glad that it was mostly game trailers and talking about the game that they were showing off. The one thing I found highly annoying is their little freaking ding noise, crappy logo right before every video. That got old quick. Like, I thought that annoying was probably close to the whole, you know what the most annoying sound in the world is sound. And, but, you know, it was an okay show. I was expecting a lot more like world premieres. You know, we got a lot of stuff we already knew was existing and everything. I mean, I don't know what the whole point of telling us The Quarry is out. Okay, if you're interested in that game, you already know it's coming out. I mean, I guess it's more publicity from them to say it's out the day before it's out. But they just had to remind everybody that it's coming out tomorrow when that was on the show. So it's Geoff Keighley. He's a little bit over the top with some things. But I am glad to see, you know, that he's toned it down. I mean, Summer Game Fest is, you know, it's still early on in its life, you know, and he's had a boon this year because there's no E3 and stuff like that. I was expecting, because there's no E3, there would have been more from Geoff Keighley in Summer Game Fest. I was a little bit disappointed that it was 1-2 hour long session, and I thought it was going to be like E3 where it was going to sprinkle it out throughout the week. And until Nick had mentioned it earlier, I was expecting another conference from them a little later in the week. And then he's like, no, that was it. And I'm like, what? No, there's got to be more. I had to go out and Google it for myself. And I'm like, wow, Geoff, way to get everybody's hopes up. You call it Summer Game Fest with 1-2 hour long episode. That ain't a fest. That's like a half of
that's a day
conference, right? That's not even a day, right? Yeah. That's like, you know, E3
Summer
had us for like 3 or 4
afternoon-ish.
days. Yeah. That's a Sunday afternoon drive right there. especially because a lot of the stuff that he had shown, there was some new trailers for some of the stuff he had shown, but a lot of it was already known things. And then obviously, their thunder got stolen because the Last of Us remake had already leaked before this show came on. So they kind of ruined his thunder a little bit there. That was his grandstand last thing of the night that got ruined for him. But overall, it was a good 2 hours long. I mean, there was a lot of repetitive stuff we'd already see, but it was good. I would still rather have had E3, but that's just me. Nick, what about you, man? What'd you think of the conference overall?
It was okay. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Thanks,
Calm
Ollie.
down, man. Calm down.
That's all an afternoon will give you. It was okay. It was just, a lot of the games they showed off were things that we already knew existed. And you're correct. Last of Us Part 1, the remake of a remake, was already leaked, like what, an hour or two before, or maybe the day before that all happened. So, his going out party was someone crashed the cake before he could, pop out of it and everything. So we didn't, that was already leaked, but they did talk, they talked about some other stuff. But I mean, overall, like, yeah, they did the trailers and everything. I don't know. I kind of like the set. I like the blue grass at the beginning. I mean, I thought the set was really cool, like the changing set and like the whole kind of that visual style to it. I like that kind of what they did there with that. The people coming on stage is whatever, I mean, some people are really happy that he was able to put this together. But overall, the conference was, it was a lot of stuff that we already knew about. There were some games that we didn't know about, like Goat Simulator 3. It's kind of funny that that's coming out. And some other ones that were highlighted out there. Unfortunately for Bloober Team, everyone, it was Silent Hill. Oh, they're making Silent Hill or something Silent Hill, and it's another Layers of Fear, which I've never played Layers of Fear, but apparently people like it. I guess enough to make a third one, right? So so that was kind of a surprise. But then they showed off a lot of stuff that we've already seen, and we knew that was coming out. Different trailers, so more information about them, but a lot of stuff that we already knew about. So I would say it was an okay conference. I would still prefer to have E3. I would have liked it to spread out throughout, because I thought it was 3 days as well. You heard it from me, but I heard it from Shane, because I was like, yeah, what was today? Like, I don't remember them doing anything today. And he's like, oh, it was just yesterday. And I'm like, what? Just yesterday? That was it. But I was like, well, that was nothing. Like, that's not a fest. Like you guys said, that's a Disney afternoon. That's not anything else, that's TGIF night. That's about all that was. So, yeah, it was an okay thing. I mean, I think I'm more excited now to see the Bethesda Xbox conference on Sunday, or this coming Sunday from when we're recording, but it'll be past that. But anywho, I'm excited to talk about and see what's going on with that more than this. I was hoping for more. I think Jeff Keighley actually did better with the Game Awards. That was the end of last year than what was here at Summerfest. I think I enjoyed, even though the Game Awards was a little bit longer, and then of course, Sting had to play. They didn't have Sting. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe Summerfest didn't have Sting.
Need more Sting.
Nick missed Sting, and then the chick playing the harp or whatever she was playing. That's what he missed.
That's what I missed. I mean, come on, Jeff Keighley, get them back in there. We need more Sting and the harp girl. Put them together. They can sing a song together. I don't know. I think I like the Game Awards, but the Game Awards started out rocky too, right? And then I think it's gotten progressively better throughout the iterations. So maybe Summerfest will kind of get that way. But then next year they got to compete with E3, right? Because it's supposed to be back in person. We'll see if that happens, but hopefully it will. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, it was fine. It was. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. There was just nothing, like Pat said, that really, boom, oh my God, I was not expecting that. I mean, The Last of Us Part 1 remake was, that's been rumored forever, and then it got leaked. So, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but even if it didn't leak, I wouldn't have been surprised. But there were some games that were not leaked that I'd not heard of but they're more on the indie side of it. That seemed pretty interesting. There's a few we'll talk about in the next episode, but there were some of those I enjoyed. The overall show, though, was just fine. The problem I have with Jeff Keighley's stuff is, and he did a much better job, I think, on this than he did the Game Awards. This was game. He had some chit chat, but it wasn't like, show me a sizzle reel of them walking through the office and guys going, oh no, hide my screen. Wasn't any of that bull crap. That I'm okay with. I don't mind.
Don't give him any ideas for next year.
Yeah, no crap. But I don't mind the chit chat so much. It's just the barrage of nonstop non-gaming stuff. There was a thing with The Rock. He did a thing in it.
Basically, it was an advertisement.
Exactly. He advertised his weight room. He advertised his energy drink. He advertised his new movie. What the hell? What was there something game related in there? I don't even remember. All I remember is him saying he smelled and look at my energy drink.
Like when you're watching YouTube and it cuts into an ad, that's exactly what that was. That was an ad. There was no skip button. You couldn't skip it. So you had to watch the whole thing.
But yeah, it's stuff like that bothers me. Now, granted, I mean, Dwayne Johnson's like, who's like the biggest movie star in the world right now. And I can understand why they would do it just for a marketing standpoint. So I'm okay with it, but because they didn't overburden us with non-gaming stuff. So definitely going to give Jeff Keighley kudos there. I mean, he didn't hit me with an hour of Halo TV series or The Last of Us TV series. The Last of Us TV series was brought up, but it wasn't deep dive for 20 minutes like a lot of the times we would get. So I'm pretty happy with it. And I'm going to take back what I said about his coat this year. It wasn't that bad. So but the show overall was definitely better than the Game Awards. Sorry, Nick, but Sting or no Sting, I'm going to have to choose this one. So.
I'm on boat with Shane on this one. The Game Awards is it's too much fluff. I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to make a 4-hour long event? I think the Game Awards is way too much fluff. It's not the Grammys.
You take all the crap out, what, hour and a half?
Right. It's not the Grammys. It's not the Screen Actors Guild Awards. It's Game Awards. I don't want to see Sting. I don't want to see the Harp Girl. I don't want to see Jay-Z. I don't want to see any of those people. If I wanted to see that, I'd watch the Grammys or something else. I don't care about the music. I want to see the games. I want to see who won. I want to see the people behind creating the games coming up and getting their awards and talking about their staff and their teams and stuff. I don't want to see all that other crap. And that's why I think I like the Game Fest better as well, because it was just game trailer, talk to a developer or somebody from the team, move on. And that's why I think I like. I don't want a 15-minute harp solo in the middle of my thing to make it a 3-hour long. I don't remember. Was the Game Awards like 4 hours long or something, wasn't it?
It was almost 4 hours, long. I think it was getting.
I remember sitting there going,
long.
I need to go to bed. I got to work, or something, and going, well, when's this over with? How does it take 4 hours? I mean, I have to look it up. I don't watch the Grammys. I don't watch Screen Actor Guild Award. Are those 4 hours long each? I mean, I don't know. So, but I'm in the boat with Shane. I think that this was better than the Game Awards because of that. I think he needs to dumb it down, get rid of the bands, get rid of the entertainment, because the video games are the entertainment. This should be the focus, not Sting, not the Harp Girl, not the orchestra. It's the games and the game developers and that type of stuff, and the teams behind that stuff. If I wanted to watch a concert by Sting virtually, I would find it on YouTube and watch it. I guarantee you probably 60 to 80% of the audience in there was like, who's that old guy?
Mm-hmm.
I never heard this before.
And what the hell is a harp? I saw it on Disney Channel once.
I think probably more people knew the Harp Girl or the Harp than they knew Sting.
Or Sting.
Or the I don't remember what she was playing. Was it the Harp Girl or was it the Guitar Girl? It was one of them. I was just like, it's like she's doing a better job.
Oh, it was the Guitar Girl. I think she had a guitar.
The Guitar Girl.
She was going all wacky.
It was a guitar, not a harp.
And the cameraman was
going
too
crazy, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The pervy camera dude.
Yeah. So, but I that's just me. I would have rather them cut out an hour of all that BS and make it 3 hours long or however long it really needs to be. But the Game Awards shouldn't be about what they made it about. And yes, you can spend a little bit more time on the winner than the people that you're bringing up in the category, right? So let's say, Team Bloober wins something. Yes, talk about their development team and cycle for 5 to 10 minutes max, but don't spend 20 minutes talking to one of the game designers about the chair in their office or their office setup. Who cares? I don't care how their office is. I don't care if they're working from home, working in their office. I don't care if their chair is white or they've got this big, huge, massive toilet chair, right? I don't care about that stuff. I don't mind seeing the developers and their team talking about the efforts they put into the game and what was their their inspirations and stuff like that. But I don't need the stupid office skits that they put in there and stuff like that. So, but that's just me.
Yeah. One thing I wish they would have done, and this isn't a political thing, I would like to have seen them, acknowledge the game developers that are in Ukraine, because there's several of them that have had to put everything on hold. So I'd like to have seen that, just a little tribute to them. But the show itself,
he did mention them.
He did.
There was a game studio. Them, yeah. Which one was it? That the game, which is kind of an awkward thing because it's a Belarus studio and a Ukrainian. That was the Ukrainians and Belarus people had a collaborative studios, but that was kind of an oddity, to bring both of them to light. But it is what it is on that front.
Yeah. But, anything that gets the games out and keeps games moving, I'm happy for. I think the show itself was definitely a step up from the Game Awards. Like Pat said, no fluff. That makes me happy. Just give me more surprises. Really line something up. I know it's kind of a rough time because Sony had their state of play. Nintendo's had a few tree houses this year, excuse me. And then Microsoft, Bethesda's coming up. Is Ubisoft doing one or not? Ubisoft, somebody else was doing one here too. I can't remember who it was. So I can understand it being a little
has
hard,
something coming up. I just can't remember.
Yeah, Capcom. Oh, Square Enix has a thing coming up too for Final Fantasy 25th anniversary. So.
Right.
But I would like to have seen some surprises. Just that one thing that really goes, oh shit, I was not expecting that. That looks cool. But we'll get into the games a little bit deeper on the next one. You guys got anything else?
Outside of that, the weird thing about the Summer Game Fest is that like they talked about. I'm trying to think of. I think the whole thing behind the Game Fest is that Jeff Keighley is throwing in a bunch of conferences that aren't his, right? Like I don't think Jeff Keighley put together the Days of Devs thing that was right behind his, but yet it was part of Summerfest, right? And then they did the Digital Devolver little Twitch stream that they did, the Devolver Direct, and I think that they're kind of putting that in there. And then I think Netflix is doing something. They're doing like the Geeked Week. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that today. I think today was like day 4 of that.
Today.
Yeah. And even Xbox is part of that Game Fest.
That's what they put them in the lineup, but they're not part of Game Fest. And that's what I think is happening here is that Jeff Keighley is kind of intentionally, or I can't say it's intentionally because I don't know the guy and I don't know his plan, but it almost seems like he's skewing the perception that all of this is Game Fest when it's not his doing, because they also have, the Tribeca Game Spotlight that was today as well. And then we have on Sunday, the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, and then there's the extended showcase on the on the 14th. So Microsoft has the extended one, and then Guerrilla Collective's got one. There's a bunch of them
I
out
forgot
there.
about that one.
You know, so there's a bunch of stuff coming out, but they're not part of Game Fest because I think PC Gamer has one too. Don't they have the gaming show? And then, as you mentioned, Nick, the Capcom showcase, and THQ Nordic is doing their own. See, now that there's no E3, all these places have got to put on their own little conference around the same time they would have had E3. You know, some of them aren't. Like, I think the THQ Nordic and the QuakeCon is in August, but they're listed as part of all this. And I'm like, no. This isn't Game Fest. Game Fest is over. It was the 1-2 hour thing, the Summer Game Fest. So I think it's just a little bit of misdirection by Keighley and his crew to kind of make it seem like this is all encompassing. This is Game Fest. No, this is just around the time E3 was normally been. And all these conferences, people didn't get E3, so they already want to schedule something to talk about their new and up and coming. So I think it's a little bit of deception by Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know, that's a good point. I take it back. His jacket was ugly. What about you, Nick? You got anything else?
No. I hope Sting's in the next game.
At least
There's going to be a new game. There's going to be a new CD Projekt Red game. Instead of Cyberpunk, it's going to be, I don't know, City of Angels with the music singer Sting instead of the other Sting. Or instead of the one guy who wore the Sting makeup like a wrestler.
Featuring both Stings.
Yeah, it's going to have both Stings in it. And they're playing they're both taking turns playing the guy who played the Crow who wore the makeup like Sting.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, we are going to step out on this one. Stay tuned for the next episode where we dive a little deeper. We talk about the games, we probably won't get to all of them because there is a crap ton, but we'll pick the, ones we liked and didn't like, and some thought might be interesting. So, but just like always, leave us a message. Tell us what you think about the Game Awards. Tell us your thoughts and opinions on them. Tell us your thoughts and opinions about those games that they showed off. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit those notifications. Tell your friends, tell your grannies. Everybody's welcome here, and we will see you next time. See ya.